and welcome to another episode of EPMS Tech Talk. I'm Joanne LaFlamme.
I'm Chris Costa.
So Chris, what would you like to go over today?
Well, within CRM, we've looked at the customer view, we've looked at the reports view. I thought maybe look at the event view.
Sure, that'd be great. That is the last view to cover in CRM.
Right.
Let's just talk a little bit about what that view is for. The reason why we created the events view is really for a way for you to kind of search through your emails, calendars, and tasks to find things. As well, if there's a problem and you need to reassign something, it's a place to go. So it's really a tool for either a user or also for management to have a more global view of the emails and tasks and calendars, what we call events, in CRM. Okay? Yeah. So let's take a look.
Okay, sure.
The first thing we'll do is we'll take a look at the customer view and the events tab there.
Okay.
Okay?
Makes sense.
So let's move over to Enterprise. Here I have a customer highlighted here. And when I highlight a customer here, I could go to the Events tab at the bottom of the screen. And you'll see the Events tab here will let me see all of the events that are associated to this particular customer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, now let's go take a look at the Events view, which I get to by hitting the E button here in the top. And now I'm looking at the Events view. You'll see here it's really a similar look. It looks almost exactly the same as the Events tab under the customer.
Right.
But here's the difference. You'll notice up here when I first come to the Events view, it'll bring in whatever customer I was looking at, but I do have the ability here to click on the drop down and choose All Customers. So now I can look at all events for all customers. And this is kind of a view it's very text-based, but it will let me search and sort through that list to find something. And that was the purpose of it.
Sure.
Okay? I also have some filters across the screen here, so I can search and sort by user type, by CRM user, by event category. So I can look at an email, calendar, or task, by event type. And I also have a user-defined field here called sales activity type that you can define. It's meant to be able to create a list of things that you might consider sales type activities. You can create a list of actual values and then be able to assign those to the events and be able to filter by them as well.
Okay.
Okay. Another purpose of this, you may have an email that comes in unassigned, like I do here. Now this might happen if you have, say, a new contact gets hired by one of your customers, and they were given your email, and they send you an email, but you don't know about them yet. You haven't entered them in your database. So that email will come into CRM, but it won't know what customer it goes to. So it'll get unassigned. Okay, right. So we have an example of that here, and I can find that email in this view and be able to come down in the bottom screen here and assign it to a particular customer. Select that customer, and now that email is assigned to that customer. So that's another purpose of this view.
Okay.
In addition to just looking at these events as in kind of a text-based window, I can also come up here to the top right-hand corner and use these radio buttons to filter just by particular events. So I can look at just emails, and as I'm looking at the email view here, you'll see this email view looks just like the email view in the customer view when you're looking at an email.
Okay. And I can respond, I can reply, I can do whatever I need to do here?
Absolutely. But typically you would work in the customer view on a daily basis because that's where you're going to be selecting a customer, looking at a particular estimate, order, or invoice, and we'll probably be sending the emails out from that view, but you can do it here.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
I can also look at calendars from here, and it will bring up the same calendar view I can get. It's just a little larger view, but it is the same calendar I can get from the customer view. But from here, again, I can be looking at calendar events assigned to all customers, or I can select a particular customer. I can also look at tasks, again, assigned to all customers. So really, it is a management tool to be able to see a global view of everything for instead of looking at a particular customer.
Is there any way from this view right here to open up a little more information right from this window instead of going out to the email or out to the calendar?
So if I'm looking at a particular email and I want to see the detail behind it, I can just double click on it and it will actually pop up this little conversation view and I can see the details behind it. Now I can't respond to it in this particular view. I would have to go to the email radio button to do that. But I can at least see the information behind it and when it was sent.
Okay.
The same thing with a calendar. I can double click on it again to see the detail behind it and the start and end time.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing with the task. So that gives me a way to take a look at the
Right,
detail behind it.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah.
Do you have any other questions?
No, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. It's good.
Well, thank you. Thank you for joining us for another episode of EPMS Tech Talk. I'm Joanne LaFlamme.
I'm Chris Costa.
Please look forward for more to come.